Guys, so I want to talk about recovery in eating disorders. And there's been a lot of questions online, and I see it a lot where people have made the hardest step. They want to get better, but they then start eating. And of course, they're going to put on weight because they need to put on weight to be healthier. But they really can't cope with the putting on weight, and then they go back into relapse and back into withholding food. Now, this all comes down to their self-esteem, but also their identity. So we grow up in a society where being slim, being skinny is a good thing, okay? And what is forgotten is that it's not about being slim and skinny, it's about being healthy. It's about eating well, okay? So these sufferers have this absolute, we are our identity, okay? We are who we are. And when they have starved themselves and they've lost a lot of weight, to actually change that identity that they perceive, meaning that they're successful at losing weight, that they're good, is actually going against everything that their brain is telling them. Now, imagine growing up in a society, in a culture where being big was a positive. Okay, so this is the difference. This is the change that we need to make. Where being a lot of African women, where being large is a positive. It means we're sexy, it's much better for the opposite sex, okay? So they're the two changes in the brain, memories, behaviours that have been made and been programmed into the brain. So when we are putting on weight with eating disorders, we have to change what is up here about our identity. So for instance, as many of you know, I was anorexic 20 something years ago, 30, I can't remember how old I am now, 20 plus years ago. And like I say, putting on weight was the hardest thing because you're changing. And as when you're anorexic, you don't like change. You're clinging onto it. It wasn't even so much the eating, but it was that change and knowing that I was losing control over that number on the scale. And it literally did become a number. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to change that perception of what that number means. It's just a number. Okay, so, and I'm not going to use numbers because I know numbers can be a trigger for when you do suffer from anorexia. But what you need to do is you need to change what number you see as good, and you need to change it to a number that is healthy. We need to change that skinny is good into strong, healthy, that good weight. Eating healthily, that is the positive thing. And that's what we do when we work with clients. We change those neurological pathways. We change those old memories, those things that people have said about what is good. Yeah, what is society perceives, okay? Now, bearing in mind, when you're anorexic, you're way beyond healthy. You're skinny, okay? And I often see on these on the forums people who have absolute body dysmorphia, where they cannot see. If I saw them walking down the street, there's a big difference between naturally slim and healthy and an anorexic look to them, where they are so unhealthy, and you can really spot it a mile off. Now, remember, weight is not the issue, okay? You can have an eating disorder and be at normal weight. But whoever you are and your individual number, your individual, what's the word? Body health is absolutely individual to you, okay? So for instance, some people would be a healthy weight at a certain weight, okay? They would look healthy, but others, that would be underweight for them. So it's really about looking healthy, looking good, but seeing it from a third person. Now, quite often, if I would look at myself in the mirror when I was very sick, and all I could see was the fat, and all I could see was that number on the scale that I then had to reduce again. And believe me, you think you're going to get to a number, and you will change your goalposts. Okay, that is ED talking. You will change them to the lowest number because it's not about that number. It's about winning. It's about being good at something. But you need to be good at being healthy. So you need to change what's good. You need to change the size of clothes that's going to make you good. And it might be that you need to adapt to what that healthy weight is. But remember, when you're recovering from anxiety, and you're going to have to put on weight because that weight is not healthy for you. So you're going to naturally and healthily do it by getting all those vitamins that you need, by getting the healthy fats that you need, by getting all the magnesium, everything that nurtures us and allows us to grow. Okay, and allows our brains to work. That's what these bodies work on. They work on food, and without that food, then they're not going to work. So it's a bit of a catch-22, because the more we stop ourselves eating, the more we hold back, the worse our mental health gets. Okay. So the first choice you have to make is, I want to get better. I am so sick of being ill. And then you have to choose whatever you'll be able to know what a healthy weight for you was. Okay. Now, a healthy weight for me compared to a healthy weight for somebody else is going to be totally different. So it should never be about weight. It's about how your clothes fit. But you're going to have to change clothes. There's nothing worse than tight clothes to make you feel bad about yourselves. So go up that size. How you perceive a size 10 or 12 or 14 needs to change. So that's what I want to say. When I'm working in this area, we are changing your identity. We are changing what you perceive as healthy, because you need to look after your body, and you're not when you're starving it. Okay, you're not looking after your body, and you will make yourself sicker and sicker and sicker. So you have a choice. You can be absolutely skinny, unhealthy and unhappy, or you can be a higher weight, healthy and happy. It's your choice. Make the choice and then get help in order to make the progresses, because you will need help to do it. You need to express when you're struggling. Hope that makes sense, guys.